What is going up, my Joker? It is your favorite, or maybe not so favorite, and unknown Kawasaki Ninja chopstick. And no, I didn't name myself after the bike. This is an old channel. This has been my name since longer than I can remember. But it's been many, many years since I've posted any videos. They weren't this type of video. So here we are. Like I said, I'm Ninja Chopstick, and as I'm sure you could have read the title, this is my brand new 2025 Ninja 500 SE KRT edition. I need my glasses. And I am a brand new rider. And I just picked this up. This will be my first ride. I didn't ride it home from the dealership because the dealership was about 2 hours away, all freeway, and my first ride was not going to be on a freeway going 65, 70 miles an hour. So, trailered it home, and here we are. And as the title probably says, I failed my MSF class. And I failed the written test. Now, before you start going all crazy, I did go back and pass both of them. I do have my motorcycle endorsement. But in my state, it's not really an MSF course, because the course also is for the DMV test, the skills test. I still had to take the written test because I did the online course. But I will say this, the quote-unquote MSF class was garbage. The teacher sucked. They literally read off cue cards and told us to go practice each thing for 10 or 15 minutes, whatever the case was. And that's it. They didn't teach us shit. And so, basically, I failed on the slow speed stuff, the cone weave, and the sharp, slow right turn. And that's because they didn't teach us about preloading the throttle, clutch control, or dragging the brake. So I had to learn all of that in the week, because if you fail, you get to come back the next week and retest for an additional $25. So that's what I did. But when they were giving us the practice stuff, especially on the cones, they didn't have us practice the way that they test. So let's go find out. Let's start off with a bone stock startup on this 500. Haven't done anything. Got some mods coming. So I used to be a car guy, and most of my projects are all theme based. So this will kind of be the same thing here. So if you're expecting Amazon specials, things like that, not going to happen here. We're going to go with quality parts, and you're probably not going to see me racing around. Like I said, I'm your favorite Kawasaki Ninja. Really, I'm old enough to probably be most of your dads, but don't call me daddy. Don't do it. No, just please don't do that. So, I'm the cool uncle. My kids are grown, and I'm just now getting my motorcycle endorsement and my first bike, and so here we are. But I do live kind of next to the MSF course. So let's go down there real quick on our first ride, and we'll do some things here. So let's get this puppy started. Oh baby! All right. So let's get out here. All right. You do this, see? Now they know how to drag the brake. This shit like this is easy. You do it. All right. Reload that throttle a little bit. Go ahead and get up. So yeah, this is after work, so a little bit later in the day. I'm not gonna go ripping around anyway. So, yeah, kind of grew up motorcycles when I was younger, but I never really got into them. I used to be a car guy. Haven't been into cars for quite some time. Used to have a JDM front Integra. Front end imported from Japanese. Done up in Spoon and Gritty and all JDM stuff. And then 61 bubble top Impala, hydraulic and all that good stuff. But it's done many. So it feels nice to be back into some type of automotive. Alright. Brakes, downshift, signal. Friction brake. Alright, let's get out of here. Get out there. So I am still making here. In my state, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of that. The reason I had to travel to go get it was because there were none of the 500 SEs in the KRT anywhere near me. They were all sold out within a 2-mile radius. So I had to travel, and that was why I couldn't actually ride it home from the dealership. I would have loved to, but it was literally a 2-hour drive, all freeway, and yeah, I'm not there yet. So there's the range right over there. this is a lot different than what I rode the MSF with. On the MSF course, initially, they had me on this big, weird Suzuki 250 with the fattest damn tires I'd ever seen in my whole life. And I think that was partly why I failed as well. This was too big of a motorcycle for me. Especially when they allowed other people to be on ROMs and scooters, like 125 scooters. So yeah. But when I went back for my retest, well, look at this guy. Let's go over here. Let's see what he's doing over here. Dominoes. Look at the domino dude. Look at this. This dude's a ribbon. Hey. These dudes not giving it. Hey, he's got some control in that. Oh, he blew the tire. Oh, he blew it. Oh. Oh shit. He tore that the fuck up. Let's go over there. Can we get over there? Let's go back this way. Let's see what these dudes are. See what these dudes are up to. What's up, my dude? You good being on camera?
Yeah. Hey, you got all that shit on camera?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I got the pump, everything on camera.
Holy shit! Hey, you think you send me that?
Yeah, hit me up Ninja Chopstick on Instagram.
Hold on.
And I'll go ahead and send it to you. Looks like it's not his first tire that he's... Just Ninja Chopstick, all one word. That's for y'all too, Ninja Chopstick. Boom, right there.
Oh, did you just see me from afar?
Yeah, I was just coming here to do some slow speed practicing, and I saw you ripping it over here. Just out here ripping it?
Yeah, it's because I'm showing her like the process, like the progress that I've done. Because I took it here before when I wasn't really good at it. So I was like, okay, like now that I'm like better at it now, I wanted to retake her and show her that I got better at it.
Nice. How long you been doing it?
Literally a couple weeks.
Really? You got some decent control, man.
Yeah, I know. I got really good at throttle control. Hey, it's all about wheel and power control.
Yeah.
Hey, can you do that on the bike?
Not yet. So I'm a new rider. Yeah. So I'm still out here learning. Like I just got this thing. Still put my first miles on and stuff. So that's why I was coming out here just to do some slow speed maneuvers and stuff, and then was gonna go rip some streets and stuff and see what we're doing out there, you know. So, but I came by here and saw you ripping. I was like, wow, let's watch this. Yeah, you shredded that tire.
Yeah, I know. That's what all my tires look like.
Did you do that one too?
Yeah, that one I just did. So I just changed that out, literally.
So you got another wheel still?
Yeah, I have another wheel.
You good?
Yeah, I always bring extras.
Nice.
Yeah, I know that I pop them.
That was cool. Little unexpected drifting, and we caught him just at the right time, just at the end. Fucking guys, get it, boy, get it, yes sir. All right, so here we are at the MSF course. So first thing that I failed on was stupid cones, because when they had us practicing it, so they had us do this whole big circuit, right? It's this big fucking circuit. So we come around this way, we gotta come here, we gotta do the brake, we And then they had the cones initially for us to practice just all in one line, right? Which is easy. That shit's easy. I can fucking do that shit in my sleep. Sorta, I guess. And didn't have any real problems practicing it. Got a little bit. And so, yeah, so you can see here, like this, I can do this shit. Between these hashes, that's not a problem. However, these instructors, when they set it up, they offset the cone. And we had never practiced with offset cones. And so, like, one would be here, the next one would be here, then it would be here, and then it would be out here, and then here, and all the way down. And I did not have my throttle control down. Like, the only advice, like literally that wasn't on the card, was smooth throttle, smooth clutch, smooth brake, and that was it. These instructors were ass. Like, for the $220 you take for this quote-unquote class, it's not a fucking class. It's a money grab, and they're the only people that can do this class. You can't take it through anybody else. You have to go through this very specific organization. It was just silly. I learned more in the week after I failed, because I needed to figure out how the hell I was going to pass this thing, by watching YouTube videos and learning about dragging the brake, clutch control, preloading the throttle. And so the other issue that I had was this one here. Let's drop it down in here. So basically we would start like right here, right? And you see the right turn. So we have to go through that, and there's cones normally set up. So we got to go through that without hitting any cones, without going outside of the lines. And I was trying to do this with clutch and not dragging the brake and preload. See, now I can nail it. Like, it's not that much of an issue. But when I tried to first do it, and part of the thing about these instructors was that as soon as the testing started, they were like, "We are now DMV employees, and we can't give you any help, encouragement, anything." And so it was really weird, right? And so coming into this, I was just going way too fast, right? And they never had us practice the right turn quite like this, right? It was just a right turn. Whoop. Yep. And it wasn't nearly as tight, right? And so I hit the film. I failed. I had too many points, right? And you have to get 60% to pass. And Unco only got 57%. So I failed. But I went back, watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, and also when I went back, there were 2 new instructors doing the class for the retest. And of course, they didn't know that I was there last week. And so when they asked me what bike I tested on, I told them I was wrong. Because those things are too. And I don't feel bad whatsoever, because it was so much more maneuverable than the Suzuki 250. Because it was a big bike, and the handlebars were wide, and my legs were split, the seat was uncomfortable. I didn't like it at all. It was not something I would ever ride. And what's really stupid is in our state, there isn't levels of a motorcycle endorsement. motorcycle. So you can actually take the course on a 125 scooter and still get your motorcycle into it. Which if I would have known, I would have on my own. See, now I can do these with a little bit more speed and in second, dragging the brake, clutch control. Still not perfect, but once I learned it and it clicked, because teachers didn't really teach it. You know, brake. And then also with, see, I can do like this stuff much better because I've got the clutch control now because I know more about it. I've got to give a huge thank you, not that you would ever watch any of my videos, but there's this channel, former NYPD motorcycle cop, channel Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle, something like that. And I watched about 10 hours because he has like 4 or 5 hour slow speed tutorial videos from his classes that he puts online. So I literally watched like 2 or 3 of his classes and learned about dragging the brake, preloading the throttle, clutch control, 2-1, you know, all the stuff that made me successful. I'm passing the skills test. So got the skills test, and after that we have to then go into the D&D after about 72 hours once our records get updated, and we can go take the written test, because I did the online portion of the class, and if you do that you have to take the knowledge test, I guess. You don't have to take the knowledge test as well. So I figured, because the online course was about, to do it all, it was probably about 5 hours to get through it all. And so I figured the knowledge test would be stuff that was in the online course. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. And so when I went into the DMV, it was busy. It took me 45 minutes just to get the number so that I could wait in line. And then about another 45 minutes to get my number called and then take the test. And so I let my ego kind of take over, and I didn't read the book while I was in there waiting, which I should have done, because I just kind of figured it's just going to be stuff that's on the stuff that was on the online course, and I was fairly confident that I knew all of that. So I sit down, take my test, and yeah, that was not the stuff. And so I failed my written test. Like, and so I went and told the lady. I was like, hey, you know, I failed my test. And I was heated at that point, because, you know, I'd already been through an extra week or two longer than I should have been. And so I told her I failed, and she goes, unbeknownst to me, she goes, oh, just get back in line and take the test again. I was like, what? She goes, okay, just get back in line and you can retake the test. It's like, oh, okay. But it was a very busy day at the DMV, so it took about another 2 hours until I could get my number called and retake the test. But this time I read the book front to back. I had plenty of time to read the book front to back, and of course I aced it. and got my endorsement. So my biggest takeaway there is don't let your ego and your, brain thinking that you know more than you do to get in the way of learning the stuff that you should, right? Eventually I did get it. See, this was like staggered, like this far, way over. And that's why I failed. And I wasn't good. So yeah, what a pain in the butt. But I did end up getting mine. And then getting my motorcycle. I trust it. We're not going to do too much of the y'all know what it is. Information. Okay. Alright. Y'all have seen it. It's the Ninja 500 SE. Lots of videos on these out there. I've got the pillion seat cover on there just because, I'm not going to need to carry anybody. Of course, the TFT display, frame sliders, that KRT green, that lovely, lovely color. It's so sexy. So I do plan on some mods for this. I've got a couple already that I'll probably work on getting installed. And this will be probably mostly, as much as I can, a Graves build. I've known about the Graves racing team and their Ninja racing team for quite some time, and what I like about them is that they're racers, and the parts that they have developed they use in their racing program, right? So like the exhaust, I love the sound of their exhaust. The Akrapovics, the M4s, they sound good, but I like the Graves. I've got some spool sliders coming, and so basically anything within reason we'll end up getting Grave stuff. Some GB Industries, I'm going to get the engine covers, some new grips, maybe some levers, some lever guards. The only thing that's really going to be cheapy on this as far as parts goes, probably going to be the lever guards. I don't quite trust myself yet, so lever guards are super disposable, right? And so I'm not going to spend $120, $130 on lever guards. I'm just going to buy some cheap ones. These will pretty much be the only stuff that I get like cheap, no name from like Amazon, right? Just because they're already 45 bucks, but if it goes down, they're trash. You got to get some new ones. So they're completely disposable, and that's how I'm going to treat them. So yeah, that's the Ninja. And so I'm a bit of an older rider. I'm not one of these young bucks. So my sensibilities out on the street are quite a bit different. So if you come to this channel looking for a stunter, reckless driving, things like that, that's not me. However, I'm not necessarily straight edge, right? That's why I'm the cool uncle. I'm the cool uncle. I'm y'all are my joka, nieces and nephews in Korean. So that's what this channel is going to be. We're going to build a nice bike. We're going to have a great build on this thing. It's going to be super clean. I'm not going to go too overboard. A lot of the stuff I'm going to black out. So for example, all of the engine bolts, so this here, clutch, all these bolts, the rear sets eventually. I'm gonna black that out. I'm murdering out. I'm blacking out everything that I can. Probably go black. Black levers. We're gonna get the tail tidy, but the exhaust is first. I'm gonna spend my money on the exhaust before I spend the money on the tail tidy, because I need that sound. That's what we need to get rid of. So that's what's gonna be first. And then I've got the engine covers, the clutch, alternator, oil, all that. We're gonna get the protection covers. We're gonna change the foot guards, get some black ones, and even the pegs. I've got some pegs in mind that are going to be all black. I think they're the Puigs. Yeah, that's how you say it. I don't know, P-U-I-G, Puig. So we'll go that. Just something very super clean, super nice, and eventually flash it. We'll go velocity stacks, airbox, full exhaust at some point. I'm probably just going to start with the Graves slip-on, and then we can get the headers later on if we need to. We'll get the velocity stacks, the Graves velocity stacks. They have a way that you can install them if you're stock. So if you can't, or you aren't going to flash your ECU, so that it'll still work. Still won't be optimal, because, you know, doing all that stuff is going to mess up the air-fuel ratio. So that's what we'll start with. But enough of me yapping, I guess. Let's hit the street a little bit. And see what we've got going on here. And so, like I said, I am a brand new rider. So y'all are really gonna have to bear with me for a little bit, because it's not my forte. I have some places in mind that I'd like to go check out. Some brake. But, you know, don't get me wrong. I like to have some fun. I'm not, you know, there's a reason why I didn't get a cruiser or, you know, something along those lines, because if you're thinking about getting your motorcycle endorsement, do it. Don't be afraid to fail. Some of us will. Some of us did. And, you know, after failing the MSF, you know, I did seriously consider quitting, you know. So, but I'm glad I didn't. And I stuck with it. I do have the app, so we can take a look. Yeah, looks like there might be. So if you're worried about, you know, failing or anything like that, you know, don't be. You know, if you fail, so what? Just try again. Alright. I think that's going to be it. Thanks, guys. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't do nothing. I'm just a nobody who likes to ride motorcycles.